imagine going through 12 years of school with a deep secret. Our next guest did just that. He made it to his high school graduation without ever learning how to read. Before we speak with him, here is his story.
In October of 2022, Oliver James got honest with himself and the world.
What's up? I can't read, but that's all right. When I was in elementary school, I was in special education, and I didn't even like talking about that. So I never expressed, what they did, but they used to be able to put their hands on us. It was really hard for me to think about school, reading, anything that had to do with school.
Oliver's childhood was spent moving from school to school. He ultimately stopped attending class and fell behind his classmates.
They didn't know what to do with me, and not any of us. All those kids right now are either dead or in jail or on medicine. And I was one of them. I went to prison.
After serving 4.5 years, Oliver drifted from job to job, and then the pandemic hit.
2020 COVID happened and everybody lost everything, we all did. So that's a perfect way for me to just explain 2020, new life.
The biggest thing Oliver wanted to change, he wanted to be a reader.
My lady bought a book for me, 365 quote book. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. That quote book I read for a year. I read for a whole year, every single day.
Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream in the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment.
To tell us more about his story, Oliver James joins us now. Oliver, welcome to DBL. Yes.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Oliver, man, this has been such an emotional day.
I mean, really?
I'm so taken by your story. So you graduated from high school, but how were you able to graduate without knowing how to read?
As I learned more and more and more, I'm trying to figure that out myself. I'm 35 years old. I was the kid. So a lot of times I'm trying to ask myself, how did they even let that happen? I still don't understand how it even can happen, to tell you the truth.
Well, honestly, we appreciate your just honesty, not on TikTok, because that's really difficult to admit. And there's a lot of people that are in your shoes that you'll never know that you inspired. So we just appreciate you sharing this story. It is so important. Let's talk about your backstory. Do you think that your inability to read at that time led to you eventually going to prison?
Probably 100%. I didn't know. So there was a lot I did that I just did not know. And I keep the smile on my face just to remind myself that it's not real because you didn't know,
Did you find yourself more just reacting to your world rather than really processing what was happening? You're just living day to day, minute to minute?
Frankenstein. That's the best way I could put it to you. I was like a Frankenstein, man.
I get it, bro.
Yeah.
We saw the TikTok video of you telling the world you didn't know how to read, and I am so impressed with that transparency. Can you just tell us why you wanted to post that video? What was the feedback like? And were you worried to hit post, or were you like, I want to get this out there?
Yeah, it was more of a ADHD decision. I'm usually good at that. But I come in and my lady's like, everything you're telling me, why don't you just go tell the camera? And I was like, yeah, ADHD just kicked in. It was like, go tell the camera you can't read. And I was just like, I'm gonna go do this. And I had no idea all this was gonna come out of it.
Your lady is amazing. She's done amazing things for you.
So
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you how many books you read since you started your journey now?
Well, I don't know how many I read since I started the journey, because I did read some before last year's goal. Last year's goal, I set out for 100 books, and I did finish 100 books.
Wow.
So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, I finished. Yeah, that was really tough. My last book was Holes, and I know Holes is a young person's book, but I don't think people understand how much that book changed my whole entire thought process, just to help me. People don't get it.
Oliver, you're reading more than most of us.
Oh, yeah. Way more.
Way more. And you're inspiring so many people. And as someone who has really, in a way, been through hell and back, what do you want schools to learn from your story? How can they do better?
It'll be hard because the individuals need to make the change. It's not just the teachers, it's the bus driver, the store clerk, It's the person who's walking you across the street. Every single person plays a responsibility in the young person's mind and their development. You all see them every single day. And I just want every single person out there to know it's not just up to the teachers, it's up to every adult to make sure that the young people who don't have no idea where they're going to have an angle, a map, something to give them for their future. They're just running around rogue.
I appreciate that sentiment as a daughter of an educator who focused a lot on especially communities that didn't have resources. The idea of the village is something that we are truly missing from our society, and your journey is really indicative of some of the downfalls. As many great educators we have out there, we need more. So what are some of your favorite books that you have read so far?
You know, I'm reading Ishmael right now, and it's actually becoming a really good book to me. Like, really good. But I read Holes. I also read Diary of Anne Frank. That's another big one for me. Charlotte's Web is probably a super favorite. That's like I'm like a big fan of Charlotte's Web. Yeah, Charlotte's Web is my book. Yeah, that's my book right there. That book had me crying.
I love it.
I was proud to be a vegan when I read Charlotte. I ain't gonna lie.
Oliver, you don't know how much you just endeared yourself with our leader.
I'm right there with you, Oliver. Love Charlotte's Web. We have spiders that like hole up outside of our house. We leave them. I'm also
She houses
vegan.
them, bro.
Yeah,
She names
I love
them.
Like,
you.
brings them in the house.
Yeah.
No, I do not bring them in the house. I don't go that far, but
All right.
yeah.
I get it.
Oliver,
I get it.
what an inspiration you are. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us on DBL. To our viewers, you can follow Oliver's reading journey on TikTok. His name is Oliver Speaks One. Thank you again, Oliver. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you.